Good morning. Good morning. Welcome, Facebook family and YouTubers. Good morning to you. Come on in. Welcome to Talk Therapy Live. Tell a friend, call somebody, tell them come on in today.
It's a wonderful day. It's hot outside. It's pretty warm. What I say, hot and warm. It's just hot.
Yes.
Plain old hot.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Is.
So we've had the cold. Now we have to deal with the hot. But we're never pleased, though.
I know, right? I'm not even going to complain because I've been waiting on this.
And here it is.
You know what I mean? So
enjoy it.
Turn it into gratefulness, right? Turn it into gratefulness.
Yeah.
So we welcome you here. Good morning, says Brittany Bloom Bozeman.
Good morning.
Make sure that you all share. I want you all to know that you are listening to a Gold Chip communication station. You can listen live by going to www.1580thepraise.com and click on listen live, or you can join in on this wonderful discussion by going to Talk Therapy Live Facebook page and Talk Therapy Live on YouTube. I am your host, Kimberly B, here with my hosts.
I'm Bishop Marvin C. I'm right here on Talk Therapy Live. Listen, also, you can also plant a seed into Talk Therapy Live. So, you know, this is a effort in order to be a blessing to the community.
That's right.
Which you provide on a weekly basis. But we also want to take it to another level. Right? We want to do that. So if you would like to make a contribution to Talk Therapy Live, you can also do that.
Yes. And you see the information there on the bottom of your screen. KS Bozeman. That's it. That's all. You know, so don't be shy. Just show some appreciation for the free services. They are free. It's our heart's passion and desire. Well, we had a hot topic last week, which was the cost of fear.
Okay.
And I'm so glad to have my co-host here.
I'm glad to be
with
back.
Me today. I told you I was suffering. I had a little bit of social anxiety going on because my Boaz was not here, but he's here today.
Yes, I am here today.
Yes.
Glad to be with you all. And I heard about the hot topic on last week, so I see that it was a blessing to so many that it helped many people. You know, so whenever you talk about fear, and things of that nature, so we all have to face our fears, though.
Good morning, beautiful Idra Trout is here today. And when we think about fears, that has been the state of the world, you know, in the recent years. But also, fear can be used to control people too.
Most definitely.
If you can have someone to fear you, then you can basically control them. I shared last week too, as long as I operated in fear of my ex-husband, it continued the abusive cycle. But when I stood up to him and I faced fear, it ended it right then and there. You know, so that's a lesson to be learned for all of us, that we must. I don't care what your fear is. Your fear is not bigger than you. That's a misconception.
It appears to be.
Yes.
Check this out. Maybe it is, but it's conquerable.
Yes.
You can conquer it.
That's right.
Most cases, it is kind of bigger than you.
Right.
It's like the David and Goliath. You know what I mean? So truth is, and the reality of it is sometimes it may be bigger than you.
Right.
But you can conquer it.
Yes. And
it doesn't take much to conquer it. Put it like that.
Yeah. And that's what I mean by it's really not bigger than you. It's here. It is all here because David believed. David had faith. Right.
And he took action.
He had faith.
Faith without works is dead.
Faith requires action.
And always.
Hi, Jolene. How are you? Thank you for tuning in this morning.
Welcome.
Hey, you guys, I'm going to count to 3 and I want you to hit the share button, okay? 1, 2, 3. Share. So we talked a little bit about, you know, conquering fear with faith and action, which brings us to our subject matter today.
Well, let me ask the question, though, since you did have a wonderful show last week. Did you get a huge response by your listeners?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
I did. They were really chiming in, you know, and they were really interested in the subject matter because, again, this is something that we all face I don't care if it's fear with speaking in front of people,
right.
or speaking up for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You know, all of us has some types of fear. Some of us are people pleasers because we do not want to disappoint people.
Yeah.
You know, so all of us, and what I want you all to do today is to also chime in. If you all if something touches you or resonates with you, definitely put it in the conversation piece in the comments. All right,
share it, because hey, we're bringing a service to you, but also as you are on the show with us, those that are watching as well can also read the comment as well. We may not always give the answer they're looking for, but perhaps someone who is joined in with us, if they simply by chatting in the comment, someone else could see that and say, hey, man.
Yeah, because this is our platform.
We help each other.
Yes, including you all. Yeah. This is a community service. So it's not just about Bishop and I. It's about all of us. Yeah. We're just here to be a help to everyone. And if you're one who is tuning in later on, because a lot of people, when they get off work or whatever, they may come across it, still put your comments in. Let us know that you are listening. Good morning. Miss Marvon Forte is here. Good morning to you.
Coming in. Share, people. Share.
So last week, I talked about the cost of fear. All right. This week, we want to talk about the psychological and spiritual impact of faith.
Say that again. That was a mouthful. So, you have to kind of repeat that again, right?
Yes. Yeah. And Mother Marva Bozeman is here. Good morning.
Welcome.
Yes. Today's discussion is going to be about the psychological and spiritual impact of faith. Now, we learned last week the effects of fear and what that can do to us, right? So today we want to learn what faith can do for us.
So let's start off by saying, hey, faith is the absence of fear.
Okay.
Faith is the absence of fear. Is that right? Let me see.
I like it already.
But you got to give thought to it. Faith is the absence of fear.
Well, okay.
Or faith maybe is overcoming your fears. That may be better.
What about faith is facing your fears?
Facing your fears?
Yeah.
There you go. I like that. Teamwork makes the dream work, right?
And love makes a difference.
But that's true. So it takes faith to face your fears.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So we worked it out.
Yes, absolutely.
We worked it out.
Yeah, so it's twofold. You have the therapist, you have the spiritual leader. That's why we want to kind of talk about it on both sides. Who, you want to go first?
No, go ahead. We'll just kind of feed off each other and see where we land.
Yeah. All right. So, of course, I'm going to give you some research, right, regarding faith. So, first of all, I want to say that faith improves your overall life.
Okay.
And I'll tell you why later, but faith improves your overall life. Okay. So research reveals that people who are devout in faith experience fewer symptoms of depression and anxiety and have a greater ability to manage stress. Anybody out there have stress? Let me hear from you. Anybody out there got stress? Bishop, do you have any stress?
We all have stressors, man. We all have stressors. There's no doubt in my mind that we all do. So we all have to have a time where we kind of unwind and relax and gather our thoughts and kind of go over those things. So we have them.
But everyone cannot manage their stress.
Yeah.
Remember some shows ago, we talked about the nervous breakdown, have a nervous breakdown. This is a build up of stress. It's an inability to be able to handle your stress. And then you have some people that experience stress on a daily basis.
Yeah.
Some people are addicted to it, though.
I think we all kind of have stressors on a daily basis, but it's about managing your stress. I think we all have it. We just have to, kind of manage better than others.
I think there should be an awareness of how much stress that you're taking in,
Okay.
because you can be in a stressful environment.
Yeah.
And it may not even be about you.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever rode in a car with
Mm-hmm.
a couple and they were arguing back and forth and you're like in the back seat?
Mm. Yeah, you in a stressful situation. Yes, most definitely.
You know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
you're in a stressful environment. It's not about
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
But yet, because we use our extremities and our ear gates and our eye gates to take in from the environment, we take in these stressors.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't feel like we need to do anything about it because it wasn't about us.
Yeah.
We have to be mindful of stressful situations. Even planning for a trip can be
Mm-hmm.
stressful.
Most definitely. If you're doing all the planning,
Yes.
if everything's on you,
Mm-hmm.
and it's required of you to make all the reservations, and after you make the reservations, then kind of plan out the trip.
Yes.
That's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work.
A lot of work.
You
Yeah.
know, so we must be mindful.
Yeah.
All right. Mindful is paying attention to how you feel. Now, our bodies are so intelligent that your body is going to begin to speak to you and let
Yeah.
you know when it's overwhelmed.
Mm-hmm.
But some of us ignore those because we don't know how to sit down.
Yeah.
We don't know how to relax,
Yeah,
but the
yeah,
whole time
yeah.
your body is speaking to
Yeah.
you. You can have heart palpitations.
Well, if you don't sit down, you'll be set down.
You be laid down.
Because your body will shut you down.
Yes.
You know, it will respond in some type of way to let you, hey, next time when I tell you this,
that's
or
right,
you need to obey.
Well, or the next time you ignore me,
yeah,
this is what's going to happen.
most definitely.
Because our bodies are so intelligent that it knows, and it wants to always be in have homeostasis.
Okay.
It wants to be in perfect balance.
Mm-hmm.
And when it feels like it's getting out of balance, it's going to speak to you. Have any of you ever been there where you just ignored the stressors, and then perhaps you got sick, or you were made to lay down? Has that been any of your challenge?
So made to lay down.
And feel free to comment, you all. All right. So faith improves your overall quality of life. Okay. Faith annihilates worry. It just wipes out. Faith will wipe out. You know, in counseling, I would say that probably 50% of my clients I see for anxiety.
Okay.
One of the key components of anxiety is worry. All right. So your faith is like an eraser. It will erase your worry. Now we may start out worrying, but we know how to cast our cares upon the Lord because we have faith to believe.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
But you're talking about faith, you know, and the way you started out, statistically, it is proven that, you know, we're not just talking about the Christian faith, right? It's just people of faith, you know, so you always have, you know, those that have, you know, of a different belief system or different faith, but faith in general, or looking towards a higher source or power, kind of puts people in a calm perspective.
Well, what about this? And good morning to Miss Maria Joyce is here.
Good morning.
Hey, you guys, feel free to chime in. What about this? I have faith in you.
That's good too. Yeah.
You know, because if I did not have faith in you, then I would be worried. You know, and I don't have time for this, but I know some people, when they don't have faith in their spouses, they'll start, you know, digging and searching and looking and hunting, and you're gonna find something. You can't sleep at night because you worry. They're 5 minutes late coming home. Where they at? So the faith does not necessarily have to be in God. We're talking about research has revealed that faith, period, improves your overall health.
Yeah. So it's about, I can preach that though. It's like faith in the right person or faith in the right source. But, and I understand, because you're talking about relationship wise, you know, believing in another person, you know, kind of calms you and puts you in a good place because they're dependable.
That's right.
You know what I mean? But
Yes.
our ultimate faith, of course, is in God. But I like that because we have to have, and you have to have a certain amount of faith when it comes to relationships
Yes, you
in a
must.
person. I mean,
Yes.
how can two walk together except they be
That's
some
right.
kind of agreement?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, so
Yeah.
some type of faith that's working back and forward between each other. So yeah, I
Yeah.
like that. Yeah,
Because
yeah,
if you don't have faith in each other, why are you with that person?
yeah,
That's too much stress.
yeah.
It's too much anxiety. It's too
Hmm.
much worry.
It is
And guess what? You're killing yourself.
most definitely.
You're killing yourself. They
Hmm.
don't even have to do it. You're doing it to yourself now, right?
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
So another study at the University of Pennsylvania found that spending time in prayer,
Hmm.
this is having faith in prayer,
Yeah.
increases dopamine levels. So dopamine is the hormone or the
Yeah.
chemical that we need for happiness and motivation. Any of you had a lack of motivation?
Mm. So you need to spend some time in prayer.
Come on,
A little bit,
somebody.
more than 5 minutes.
Come on. Just lay on out.
I mean, that's true. You know, it's just more than a quick prayer for you to be about, you know, go about your way. But it's about communicating and talking with God, right?
Yeah.
Not talking to him,
Yeah, yeah.
but talking with God.
Because if I have faith in my prayer, then I don't get up and carry that same burden with me.
Most definitely.
I've released it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, Ida
Yeah.
Trout says we must have faith within ourselves.
Hmm. Most definitely. Most definitely. Now I'm going to say this because, like I said, we'll kind of feed off of each other. But one of the notes that I've written down is we're talking about faith. So me bringing the spiritual part, we're kind of doing them both together.
Yeah, that's
But
fine.
faith is an absolute trust in God.
An absolute trust
It is
in
an
God.
absolute trust in God. Second part is it faith is an absolute trust in the God in you.
Mm,
It's an absolute trust in God,
yes.
but also an absolute trust in the God in you.
I like that.
Right?
Yes.
So Mom Trout, she just said what? Faith is
She-
about what?
She said we must have faith within ourselves.
We must have faith within ourselves. So
Mhm.
basically what I just said. So we have faith in God, but also we must have faith in the God in us.
And see, if we have faith in the God in us, that overcomes what I talked about last week,
Mhm.
you know, the fear.
Yeah, most definitely.
Because that faith is going to cause us to face our
Yeah.
fears.
Yeah. Philippians says, you know, I can do all things
Mhm.
through Christ. So
Yes.
it is the I, but it's going to be through Christ. So
Yes.
it is the faith that we have in the God
That's right.
within us.
Yes,
You know,
yes.
it's still God being the ultimate, but then as we talked about, as you just said a little while ago, you just stated about having faith in me and the
Mhm.
faith in relationship. So God, you know, we have faith in him, but also I believe God wants to have faith in us.
Absolutely. Because it's impossible to please him without faith.
Exactly.
So your relationship,
Yeah.
how does that work anyway, Bishop?
Mm.
How are you is that a non-believing believer if you say that you have a relationship with God but you don't have faith in him?
Most definitely. I mean, something's wrong there. There's an imbalance there. If you say you believe God, but then you don't trust God enough to, you know, because remember, faith is not all about God. Some of it is about you.
That's right.
So faith without works is dead. So you have to work your faith.
Yeah.
You have to work your faith.
Yeah. And I know in my Christian experience, there has been times where I have doubted God.
Yeah. And it's about the growth in faith. You know, so we know as I wrote down some notes because I wanted to be a little bit correct today. Romans 14:23 said, "Whatever is not of faith is sin." Right?
Y'all hear that? Say that again.
So whatever Romans 14:23 says, "Whatever is not of faith is sin."
Wow.
So I equate sin to self. Or self-reliance or flesh, right? So that's trying to operate outside of what it is that God can do through you.
Okay.
So whatever's not of faith is sin.
Wow.
Or self. You know, you depend more on yourself when the scripture tells us that, you know, in all thy ways acknowledge him
Mm-hmm.
And that's really acknowledging the God that's in you. You can't negate the God that's in you. You can't
That's
do
real
that.
good. That's
Yeah,
real
because
good.
he's here.
So when we allow fear to
That's self.
That's self in the way.
That's self in the way.
Come on.
So whatever's
Oh,
not of faith, which is God
wow.
reliance, is sin.
So wait a minute.
Self.
Wait a minute.
Self-reliance.
Let me just wrap my mind
Yeah.
around it. So if God calls me
Mhm.
to open up a business or start a business or to write a book, but I have so much fear that I'm not good enough,
Yeah.
or it won't work out right, that's sin.
That's sin because it's the absence of faith.
Y'all
Whatever's
hear
not of
that?
faith,
Oh, y'all got to chime
is sin.
in. Y'all got to chime in on this.
right? Whatever's not of faith is sin. So if God gives you something, he'll provide the means to make it to happen.
Now,
to
I have
bring it to pass.
discovered that.
Yeah.
I have discovered that because you spoke earlier about the growth process.
Yeah.
I had to grow to trust God because what
Mhm.
happens,
Mhm.
especially earlier on in your Christian experience, we relate God to man,
Most often.
to our human experiences.
Yeah.
You know, so we have to grow to trust God.
Yeah, because he has human-like characteristics now.
Mhm.
You know, he still. But
Yes.
it's true though. It's going to take some effort on your part.
That's right. Now, our faith doesn't make us crazy. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? And because
Yeah.
people know me, they know that I like taking risk.
Yeah.
You know, I like doing the what is it? The not the scuba diving, but I will. I would if I had the opportunity,
Yeah.
but all that crazy stuff I like, and I like challenging people to do it
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
And people talked about us, and family was mad because when I took you to Greece when they was having their riots. But I'm foolish enough to believe
Right.
that God will take care of me. And
Yeah.
and listen, whatever
And it takes a
happens,
foolish faith
yeah,
sometimes.
yeah.
Things that confound the wise.
Mm-hmm.
So it takes a foolish faith in order to be able to show that you trust God no matter what.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, that's how it works.
Yes, absolutely.
It's about going against the grain and what people really think. Because oftentimes when God speaks to you about something, he's talking to you.
Mm-hmm.
So you can always expect for others to believe in what God has told you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Now, what they will see is the results.
See, that's it right
of
there.
you being obedient
like we survived
to what God has said.
Yes.
So it's about the results of what God tells you.
That's good.
So whatever faith is sin, is self,
yes,
is flesh.
Wow. So we
Right?
have to learn how to trust God and move self out of the way.
It's learning. So you always start with the mustard seed. That mustard seed faith. It always has to start somewhere.
Yeah.
So you're trusting with a little bit, and then unstoppable in your faith. I think we're having difficulty with the internet. I know it's early, it's kind of jumping on and off. So
yes, just bear with us.
Yeah, be patient. Yeah.
Yes, be patient. And don't forget to share. Everyone on here, please click this share and like. And I need y'all's comments coming in.
Yes.
All right, y'all comment. This is good stuff, Brittany. I definitely
in any person's life. Faith honors God, and God honors faith.
I like it.
Right?
Yes.
And so that's how it works. And from there, you can see the result of where your faith has been placed.
Yes, yes. Because fear comes from the enemy, and faith comes from God.
It comes fear comes from I just heard something, the enemy.
The enemy inside of me.
The enemy.
Yes,
You know,
yes.
the enemy.
And that's part of the inner critic.
Yeah.
Your inner critic will talk you out of it. Now, listen, your inner critic can be a friend or a foe.
Yeah.
Your inner critic will say things to you like, don't do this or don't do that. Stay in this place of being comfortable, because it's really trying to keep you safe.
Yeah.
It's trying to keep you out of harm's way. But our faith is stronger than that.
Most definitely.
You know,
well, are you being kept safe, or are you being left behind?
Both.
You know, as we started out saying, faith is that mustard seed faith that must grow. So you start small, but you end up huge.
Yes, yes.
That's what faith does. Faith graduates.
Faith graduates.
Old lesson. That's what faith does. It graduates. The disciples would always ask the Lord, "Hey, Lord, increase our faith."
That's right.
Increase our faith.
And I love that, because it lets me know I'm not too far off. Now, listen, the disciples walked with Jesus.
Yeah.
They saw him do miracles, signs, and wonders, and they healed. And then they said, "Lord, can you increase our faith?"
Increase our faith.
You know, but that's a lesson for us. We walk with Jesus.
Yeah.
We have a relationship with him, but sometimes it takes a lot more faith than what we have, and we need the help of the Lord. So it's okay to be real.
It's like, help me to go big.
Yes, and it's okay to be big. Now, listen, some of us, we tend to dummy down.
Yeah.
Don't we?
Yeah,
we tend to dummy down. Now, there's nothing wrong with being humble, because we're supposed to be humble, because we understand where our success comes from. But I tell people, don't dummy down for anybody. No. Give God full glory.
Yeah.
You know, yes.
Because I want people to see the evidence of God working in my life, or the evidence of my faith working.
Yes, because that'd be your greatest testimony.
You want people to see the evidence, and it's okay for God to take you from small to big. And
but that's what we want.
And then you not have to apologize.
That's right.
Right?
No apologies necessary,
because it's something that God did.
That's right. Through you, because you allowed him to do that. Right? Exactly. You know, so you may have to step out of your box, and take the lid off, and come on out and live big on purpose. Marva Bozeman says, "I have increased my faith because of how he's proven himself to me." And won't he do it though?
He does all the time.
And like with you know, a lot of people struggle even with paying tithes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he says in his word, "Prove me now." Now, is that your fear? Do you have a fear of paying your tithes? Or do you have a fear of giving your, I know this is a little bit off subject, but not really. You know, because you're in a covenant relationship with God, right? You're in a contract with God. God says, if you do this, then I will do that. Are you doing your part?
Because if you prove him, he'll prove you.
Yes.
Do you hear me?
I do.
If you prove him, like he says in his word, put me to the test, or prove me.
Yes.
He'll prove you.
That's right.
Before men. That's what he does. Not that you could, be, braggadocious about it and gloat about it, but it's just like, hey, my faith got me all this.
That's right.
Or my faith got me my healing. It goes deeper than that. You know what I mean? Yeah, it does.
Whatever it is.
Whatever it is.
So another psychological effect of faith is that it lowers stress levels. We talked about that. And it lowers toxin buildup in your body.
Now let me correlate the scripture with that.
Okay.
It's casting all your cares upon him. So whenever you do that, things will definitely decrease.
That's right.
Toxin levels and whatever else, it will, because you're casting those things that you don't need.
Yes.
Onto him.
At his feet.
Immediately. You're not laying them down. Scripture say cast.
That's right.
I mean, you get them off of you like
That's
it's on
right.
fire. You know,
And cast is not a passive word.
It's not.
You know, you take it and you throw it. He might as well just say, throw all your cares, your burdens, your worries, your anxieties, and cast them on me. But toxins will kill us.
Most definitely.
This is why we need to detox. This is why we need to detox, because we're killing ourselves. Our organs cannot function properly with all those how can they function in a polluted environment?
But see, you're saying something you don't even know, because sometimes we have to do that when it comes to relationships and people. Sometimes you have to detox. You know, have you ever hung around someone or been around someone who's negative speaking all the time?
Oh my goodness!
They're not a person of faith. They don't believe in anything at all. When you say something positive, they come with something negative.
Yes.
So you probably need to detox a little bit.
You need to detox because the pessimistic person needs more faith.
Yeah.
Because faith causes us to be more positive.
Most definitely.
And how can you not be positive when you're when you have a relationship with the source of all things and you believe by faith that he's going to work everything out? How can you not be a positive person?
Most definitely. Yeah. So if we're going back, if I can share this, and we're talking about you know, God having faith in us, and then us, you know, God having faith in us, and we having faith in God. It is also about you know, the faith that Mom Trout spoke of, about faith that we have within ourselves. Right. And I was saying that you know, it is faith that we have in God, but in the faith that we have in the God in us.
Yes.
And I want to give you something. Genesis 1:27 says, so God created man in his image and in his likeness. So John 4:24 tells us that God is spirit. They that worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth. So we are made in the image of God. People don't realize we are more spiritual than we are natural. Right. We're spiritual beings, and some people say having a human experience. Right. And so we are made or created in the image of God. And being so created in the image of God, it is because we have his spirit within us. Now, if you were to take the spirit out of man, man would be, and I told you about the example of a picture, a Polaroid. You know, really there's no life in it.
Right.
You know what I mean? At all. You know,
it's just
but
an image.
It's an image. So we are created in his image, but we have his glory.
Faith or fear?
Fear is a bully.
Okay.
Thank you. Fear is a bully.
Yeah.
And so faith actually stands up like a big brother, big sister, someone who you go get, because you know immediately you getting picked on. I'll be right back with one of my brothers.
Yes.
I'm going to get them. They're bigger than both of us. You know, and so fear is a bully that faith can conquer all the time.
Yes. Yeah. That's good.
So we have the created in his image. So we have God within us.
Yes.
So we're body, soul, and spirit, but we're more spirit than anything.
But I think we have to wake up and realize that
Most
just
definitely.
because we're in the earth realm and we have more human or natural experiences, you know, and sometimes we forget who we really are. We haven't really tapped into the totality of who we are spiritually, but we definitely have the divine DNA running through there. Like you said earlier, Philippians 4:13, there's really nothing that we cannot do through Christ, through the God that is within us.
But it's like this, whether you realize it or not, how it is that you conquer things in life, or what it is that you invent or come up with. That's the DNA of God allowing you to do things, whether you recognize it or not. Whether you are a person of faith or not, is that we are created in his image.
That's right.
If you take the spirit out of man, man will die. It's like a glove, and you put your hand in a glove that's already formed as a hand. But if you take your hand out of the glove continues to lay there.
Yeah.
But until you put your hand in it, then the glove comes alive.
Yes, I like
so the hand that's in the glove is the spirit.
Good. Come on.
And so if you take your hand out of the glove, then this
come on with it. Come on.
But I mean, that's how it goes. That's how it flows. And so, you know, it's the spirit that God has given it to be creative.
Yes.
To come up with cures, you know, for diseases and things of that nature. God has given us the ability to be creative because
of who he is.
Because of who he is. He created everything. So it's a little bit of God in us.
You got daddy in you. You just like your daddy.
That. Yeah. Allow us to do that. Most definitely.
Right. You know, we talked about, you know, at William's birthday party, what is it that you like, you know, about your parents and, you know, because we have their DNA in us, you know, and so we should always display some type of characteristic of our parents.
Most definitely.
God is no different.
Most definitely.
You have so much inside of you, but you have to wake up. It's like the prodigal son. Wake up, shake
like
yourself.
Sleeping giant.
Yes,
like a sleeping giant. You minimize yourself because you don't believe in the God in you.
That's right. That's right.
So you minimize the thing.
You live at a low frequency.
Right.
You really do.
Yeah.
You're just surviving.
Yeah. And so you're afraid to go around certain ones. You know what I mean? Fear of them having so much more than what you have, or maybe more education than what you have. But I found out that there's some things that I can do that they can't.
That's right. That's right.
You know what I mean? So I mean, we're kind of like all in the same spot.
Yeah, and there's no competition
at all
because we all bring something different to the table. We put all that together. We're powerful.
But it makes the world go round.
Yes.
It makes the world
but
go
some
round.
People
so they're big eyes and little U's. It's kind of like we all in this thing together.
Because we all have different talents. All different. There's no big ones. There's no little ones because they all should be able to glorify God. But then you live in fear and you call yourself shy, or you have low self-esteem, you know, and you lack courage. You know what I mean? You lack all of that, but all of that goes back to FEAR, false evidence appearing real.
Most definitely.
Or like you said, false enemies appearing real.
Most definitely.
You know, so we have to step out of fear, walk in faith, and trust in the God that is within us.
So let me say this. For those of you that are more in fear than you are faith, take time today to activate your faith.
Activate it.
Take time today to activate. It, and you're going to end with it.
Okay.
The word of God is a faith builder.
Yes. So you're talking about activating your faith.
About activating your faith.
Okay.
So that's the way to activate. If you are a believer in Christ Jesus, and say, even if we have those that may not be, so whatever your faith may be, give attention to that and allow it to activate your faith.
Yeah. And what if someone is not a believer, right? But we know that God has purpose for them. How can they activate their faith? What if they don't believe in themselves, or they have poor self-concept? How can they activate their faith?
So if we know about it, I think it's our job to encourage them and to help them see who's behind it all. Whether it's who's behind their fear or who's behind their faith.
Yeah.
So we have to have some long suffering or consciousness about their situation.
Right. Yeah.
Patience
Yeah.
enough to be able to explain to them who's behind the faith.
Right. Because a lot of
Who's
times,
behind the fear that they have.
right.
And then who's behind the faith, right? That they
Yeah.
can walk in.
Because oftentimes when you guys still continue to share,
Yeah.
share. What I have found in counseling is that sometimes people's fear comes from childhood issues,
Mhm.
by parents telling the child, abusive parents that you're never going to be anything.
Yeah.
You're just like your dad, you're stupid. And they carry this thought process
Yeah.
throughout the rest of it. So they have a fear of stepping out
Mhm.
because now you talked about a picture.
Yeah.
Their parents have framed their worldview,
Yeah.
of themselves.
So I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, but fear can be a learned behavior.
It is. Yes,
As
it
well,
absolutely is.
right? It can
Yeah.
be you've seen it done and displayed, but also faith it can be a learned behavior as well. Faith can be like a bad cold. If you sneeze, somebody else may get infected.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
And they'll start sneezing too.
Right. Yes.
Faith is made to do that because what I see you do by faith, I can do also.
Yes.
By the same faith.
So in other words, if that is you, where you're challenged with fear because of how you were raised or brought up and things that were spoken over you, then perhaps you need to change your environment and get around more positive people. And one entity where positive people are at church.
If you change your environment, you'll change your words.
That's right. Yes.
Right?
Yes.
If you change your environment, because the environment you're in, you're only repeating what it is that they're saying.
That's right.
And you've allowed it to settle in you. So now you got to detox.
Yes.
Change your friends. Get over into another place. You'll change your friends and your words.
Yes.
And man, you all clean.
That's
and
right.
You got some new faith.
And there's where the healing process, the inner healing takes place.
Yes.
But you have to first change your mind, change your mind about who you are and who you want to be, and then change your position. So you change your environment and watch your life change. So another psychological effect to faith is it boosts our immune system. How about that?
Yeah.
It boosts our immune system.
Yeah.
Because we already know from listening to Kimberly B, when you're worried and you're stressed out, what chemicals are released?
When you're worried and stressed out?
Yes.
Let's say bad chemicals.
They are definitely bad. But these chemicals are because your cells need to thrive. They need to live and they need to be healthy. But when we release too much negative chemicals, it kind of paralyzes, it immobilizes them. They call it apoptosis, where it's called the death of a cell.
Yeah. So when you asked me that, were you expecting for me to know that word that you just said? You looked at me like, what is it?
I thought you was going to say cortisol and adrenaline.
Oh, I got you. My fault. I'm still stuck on the dopamine. So I know that's the good stuff.
That's the good stuff.
What I mean? So my fault.
Yes. Absolutely. Okay. So we don't want to kill ourselves, so we definitely want to increase our faith. Faith in whatever. Of course, we want faith in God. That's number one. But faith in you. Faith in the world. I know the world there's a lot of negative things going on, but it's not all bad.
Well, when we understand faith, really, we know faith, as I stated before, is an absolute trust in God. Right? So we know that's where our faith is, period.
Yes.
But as you stated earlier, to some degree, we put faith in people.
Yes.
Or we put faith in our jobs, right? Really, that's what it is. It's trust, but it's faith. You have faith in your job that when you work all week long and Friday comes, you trust them enough to make sure you got direct deposit, because you go straight and check to see if your money's been deposited, or they hand you a check.
That's right.
So it is still faith.
Yeah, and having faith that things are going to work out for your good.
Yeah.
A lot of people are very neurotic you know, their first response is always negative. They always swing to the left. Like if, you know, they try to turn on the radio or the laptop and it doesn't come on, they want to bang the laptop and they just start cussing and swearing. And now their day is messed up. You must believe that everything is going to work out. And hey, it's okay if it don't come on. Take a deep breath.
Especially in sickness, right?
Yes.
We can receive some type of information. Hey, this is going on in your body. I just had this conversation with a person the other day, and immediately they started speaking negative. I think it could be. I said, hold on, wait.
That's right.
Let's not speak the negative, right?
That's right.
Let's start speaking the word of God. So whatever it is can be changed by the power that's in the word that you must stand in agreement with.
Yes.
You must be in agreement with the word of God. In your life.
Yes,
right?
Absolutely.
Lord have mercy. You got me on there.
No, seriously. So you have to be careful who you hang with, you definitely become. So if you're hanging around negative people,
detox, leave them alone, get away because they're hurting you.
Yes, but like you did, you corrected them. I'm sure you corrected them in love because
definitely.
you love them and you want the best for them. But you can't get anywhere being a pessimistic person, being a very negative person and worrying all the time. You know,
that's a crowded room. No. You know how many people's in that room?
I know, but Jesus, he came for many reasons. But one reason why he came, he said, I came that you may have life. And that even more abundantly.
Right.
But as I stated earlier, when you worry, you live in doubt, you live in fear, you're living at a low vibration. And you bring sickness and disease upon yourself. And then you're lonely because who wants to be around a person like that?
Well, see, that's a person that has no faith. And where there's no faith, then there's no expectancy. When you have faith in God, you expect.
Yes, come on.
No faith.
Some good results.
Man, if you don't have any faith, then listen, you don't expect anything to happen good at all. You just feel like, hey, if it wasn't for bad luck, I wouldn't have no luck at all.
Right, and you get away from people like that.
You must.
Seriously.
Because if you don't get away, you'll become that person.
That's right. And words have an energetic field, right? So if they speak that negativity and they speak it towards you, where's that energy going?
Most definitely. It's all in you.
You got to go.
Y'all
still with us out here? Can we get any
let us know if y'all on here, because we don't know if you're there. Mom, I see you on there, Mom, Sissy. Come on now. I mean, Marva Bozeman. I'm sorry.
Since we kind of lost you all a couple of times, let us know. Give us some thumbs up or something. Let us know that you are still with us. You know, Mom says, say, okay, we know you're still there. And guess what else faith does, Bishop?
What else?
It lowers blood pressure.
Man, y'all better start believing.
Come on.
Get that blood down.
Yes.
What's that say? What you say, Mom?
We bring our piece to the pie.
All right. Amen.
Amen. Right. Absolutely. You got to bring something.
You have to.
Something positive, you know? Yeah. So I'm telling you, the psychological effects of faith is worth it. It's worth us trying to activate our faith, like you said before, by the word of God.
Right.
You know, don't allow your Bible just to sit on the kitchen table collecting dust. Open it up. If you're not a believer, then you have to change your environment. First of all, change your mind that I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. I know that there's more to life than this. You know, and get around some positive people.
You must do that. Get around positive people, and you do that, your whole world changes. Right? Because I want to get around successful others. Right? I need to get around people who's smarter than what I am. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's how you become successful.
Because how can you learn?
Most definitely.
How can you evolve and change?
Exactly.
If you're the smartest person in the room, then you need to get around some other people who are smarter than you.
Exactly. You have to.
Yeah.
You become unstoppable. Unstoppable. You can do anything.
But faith also creates optimism.
Okay.
So if you are doubting Thomas or negative Annie,
doubting Brenda, doubting John, whoever you are,
faith faith. These are the psychological and spiritual effects of faith. Your faith will create the world that you want.
Yeah.
And your faith will cause you to be a better you, because now you're not edgy.
Yeah.
Now you're not irritable, because no matter what's going on, you know, you have an understanding that, hey, trouble don't last always.
Faith will always see you through and take you to the next level.
It's a wonderful vehicle. I don't care if it's raining outside, it's going to provide shelter. You know, when the storms or the sea rises, it's the boat. Whatever you're going through, faith is going to come to your rescue.
Right.
It's going to come to your rescue.
Yeah, it's like a lifeline that will save your life. It's like someone's drowning in fear.
Yes.
And someone throws that life, not just a life jacket. What was that life, the circle thing?
Right, the SOS or what?
Yeah. Y'all help us out. That the life thing, the floater, whoever the swimmer out there. I forget, it's been a minute. But that's what faith is. You have to grab hold of it and let faith pull you to safety.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
Either
you're going to have fear or you're going to have faith.
Right.
You get to choose.
That's right.
You get to choose. Now don't allow your circumstances to choose for you, because sometimes it's easy to have faith.
Yeah, that's true.
But then there's other times when the vicissitudes of life come in and you're like, Lord, increase. Please, God. I don't want to doubt you, but I am. So it's really like being honest with God. I need you to increase my faith. But check this out.
Sometimes you can have too much faith in yourself and not enough in God. Right. So remember earlier we talked about having faith in God, but then faith in the God in you. Sometimes you can get so big you can think you are God. And put more faith in yourself. Look what I did. I did this.
Right.
I mean, you can say I did it, but always with the help of God.
That's right. Because you're going to need him to tap you in the morning to get up.
Listen, if he don't do that, if he don't.
Right.
You'll keep laying there.
Seriously. Yeah. So
that's not the Macarena either. Trust me.
So we could talk about the God in us, but it's just a part of God, a part of God in each and every one of us.
That's how big God is, though. We never thought of that. That's how huge he is.
Oh, goodness.
Right?
Yes.
Within each and every person that exists on the earth, there's a piece of God in them.
That's right. That everyone on the earth, there is a piece of God in you. That's why you know we have to trust the God in us and not trust ourselves. I always tell people when they go to do ventures or whatever to be God conscious and not self conscious.
Yeah.
Right. Your focus on God. Marva Bozeman says, I received a clean bill of health just because of my faith. I know. Because
of your faith. But it was faith plus your actions. Because you don't get a clean bill of health if you don't trust in what it is that you're supposed to be doing.
Right.
Eating better, all of that. I mean, you can't eat like a hog and then expect to go to the doctor because you've been eating slop.
And you're praying, Lord, please let my A1C be okay. And you throwing it back.
You've been throwing it back, Lord.
Faith requires
diabetes, God. I mean, you can go the blood pressure. I mean, you eating sweets, cookies, cakes, and pies, and all of that kind of stuff.
No, because you shall not tempt the Lord your God.
Faith without works
is completely dead.
So we have faith in God, but then we must work.
That's right. That's why I often say, oftentimes we wait on God, but God is waiting on us too.
Most definitely.
We have to make changes.
Most definitely.
It's like we get in some precarious situations and we're like, well, how could God allow me to be here? Sometimes we're a victim of our own choices.
Man, that's true.
Come on.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
So God looking at you like, okay, you got yourself in that. I'm going to be there for you, but what you going to do? What's your action plan to get out of it?
Most definitely. So it's about, a good time to kind of use your faith. Because sometimes, like I say, we can put too much faith in ourselves and allow ourselves to get into some things where he's saying, hey, you need to come back and put all that back in me.
That's right. Because we understand that fear will certainly impede your goals. It will. It will sabotage whatever goal. You can't get it. Fear is not your friend.
No.
It's not your friend. Do not embrace fear.
No.
You have to step out on faith, not because of your own self, your own talents and all that, because of who God is in you, through you, and by you. You know, like I said last week, fear will cause you to have an inferiority complex.
True.
You know,
That's
I mean,
true.
we know within ourselves, we don't think we're all that, where most people don't. We do have some narcissists out there that it's me, myself, and I, and we know how to get it done.
Right.
You know what I mean? But fear will cause you to be inferior to other people. And you said before, you don't want to be around those people.
You don't.
Because now
it's a fear.
Those people are shining a light on
information today. Hey, to make your life better. So this is a wonderful topic today.
Yes,
Thank God for you and what God has given you. Fear last week.
Yes.
Faith today. Activate it. Activate your faith.
Come on, step out into the deep. God's got you.
He's got you.
Yes. Well,
hey, I'm Bishop Marvin C, and this is
Kimberly B.
Yeah.
On Talk Therapy.
And you can be located at what number?
At 614-669-5115.
Yes, I'm Bishop Marvin C, 1571 South Parsons Avenue on the south side of Columbus, Ohio. So come on and worship with us on Sunday at 11 o'clock. So our music is playing, so we're trying to get out the way, y'all.
Yes, we love you all. And still, it's not too late to share. Share. We love you all. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye. Peace.
Hasta la vista.
All of that.
Yes.
Hasta luego, right? What is it? I'm just asking. Where you from? Yeah. Peace out. That's how I go. Peace. We trying.
Yes.
It's been cutting off the whole time. Now I don't want to go off.
Right.
So what you need to do? Do we need this freeze like?
Let's give it the our energy. Come on, energy. Come on.
All right. Be careful. Yeah.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Wow.
Well, hey, I think we had a wonderful show today. I can't wait till next week.
Yes.
I don't know what we're going to talk about next week. And we'll see how it goes, right?
We will see how it goes.
So thank you, everybody, for joining in today. Mom Trout, Mama Sissy, Marva Bozeman, Sister Brittany Bloom Bozeman, and Sister Joy